All right, so what's up, everyone? It's Mr. Dean. Today we got a very unusual video for the channel. Just wanted to try something new out. So today I'm going to be discussing with one of my friends over here, DonovanDud. What's up?
Hi there, it's Donovan. I love Mario, and I can't wait for the ARMS Easter egg in the next game.
The ARMS Easter egg.
It's gonna happen.
I haven't thought about ARMS since that game came out.
I'm just giving all the viewers their
was.
first ARM flashback in 2025. Maybe in the first 5 years of their lives.
Oh man. But yeah, anyway, today we're going to be talking about what we would love to see with the next 3D Mario game, since inevitably with the new console launch and the fact that it is Mario's 40th anniversary this year, I feel like there's a good chance
It'd be absolutely wild if they don't do any mainline Mario game for this year. I mean, we got Mario Kart 9, that's confirmed, but if they for some reason don't give us a 3D Mario game, or at least maybe another 2D Mario game after Wonder, who knows?
I personally don't think that they're going to do another 2D Mario. Or not that I don't think that they're going to do another one, but I think given that Wonder released 2 years ago now.
Yeah, at this point.
I think that they're going to go back to 3D before kind of hopping back over to the 2D train.
I've been assuming with Switch 2 launch, I've been saying it's going to be a launch game or at least a holiday game for Switch 2, but it's guaranteed 3D Mario is most certainly coming this year. It has to. If it doesn't, that's absolutely crazy.
And I definitely think that given the leaks about the specs for the next Switch, a new 3D Mario would be a really good way for Nintendo to kind of showcase the potential power of the new system. So that is also exciting. So I guess that's one way to kind of jump into this discussion is, what do you think we're going to see in terms of just not graphical quality of the new game, but just how advanced
I was about to go into these so-called Switch 2 rumors and leaks. Some of the sources are quote-unquote reliable enough for me to just assume that it's going to have DLSS upscaling, right? 4K upscaling.
Let me go ahead and kind of hit pause right here. Take this what we're about to say with a grain of salt. This is not confirmed, but
like a giant
I definitely
salt
do
rock.
think that there is a good chance that we'll see some kind of AI upscaling, with whether that be frame rate or whatever. I'm not a tech person like that, so I'm literally the least qualified person to be talking about whether we're going to be seeing that kind of thing. But that's just what I've seen talked about.
I do really hope it says Switch 2 is going to have graphical power similar to the PS4. PS4 games look beautiful to this day. Red Dead Redemption 2, that game came out 2018, PS4 hardware, looks beautiful today. If a Mario game can look like that, it's game over. That'll look amazing. Dude. And it doesn't even have to be 4K, maximum 1080p with just beautiful possible ray tracing. That's what DLSS can bring to the table. Things like the Mushroom Kingdom or wherever we go next will look absolutely amazing. I just hope they can utilize the hardware to its full potential. It's just that Nintendo developers, they just need to get used to the new programs and softwares since they've been dealing with basically 360 hardware for the past almost 2 decades at this point.
I am perfectly fine with a PS4 level graphics with the new system. I've seen a lot of people be like, no, we need to have PS5 and the most modern.
I mean, don't we all want that? It's just, let's keep it reasonable here. That thing's not fitting on an Android tablet. Have you seen the PS5 hardware? That it's not.
No,
possible
not even that. It's not even that for me. It's I don't care.
Yeah.
The graphics of PS4 and Xbox One games are perfectly fine.
It's gonna look great.
Just for the viewer discretion, my Wi-Fi just cut out, so we just had to completely redo our setup. But hopefully, it should be all smooth sailing from here.
It's an alternate timeline.
All right, so before I cut out, you were talking about Nintendo's transition from like Wii U to Switch, or just from like non HD to HD in general.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you recorded of that, but just in case.
Yeah, so hopefully their game droughts from the Wii U era, which was mainly attributed to them learning HD development. Hopefully those game droughts will not occur with Switch 2, with them learning how to utilize 4K development and DLSS and ray tracing. Hopefully that isn't the case. And bringing it all back to Mario, hopefully Mario can utilize the power that Switch 2 brings to the table, because Switch 2 should be leagues more powerful than the base Nintendo Switch.
As much as I would love to like really do a deep dive into like what to expect with the next console,
that's a
I don't want to veer too far off. Yeah, that's a whole other like can of worms to open.
It's just, if we're talking about next 3D Mario, we gotta talk about the next console.
So I remember a few minutes ago though, you were mentioning like you just kind of like subtly nodded at that we might not be in the Mushroom Kingdom with this next 3D Mario.
I hope we're not in the Mushroom Kingdom again. We all love the place, but it's like, let's go somewhere new. Blow our minds again.
I could not agree more. I'm gonna be so honest. This was one of my notes that I put down specifically for this video. Is I love what Nintendo did with Super Mario Odyssey in regards to like giving us new kingdoms to explore that we hadn't really been, a part of with previous games. Stuff like the Metro Kingdom, the Cascade Kingdom, the Lost Kingdom, just like
that's
everything
really
felt more unique.
A lot of the charm of Mario Odyssey, just all the great locations from there.
And I'm willing to take it a step further. Like, forget the Mushroom Kingdom. Are we ready to like kind of shake things up with maybe, a new storyline perhaps?
I think
you never know.
I do hope there's a new scenario. I don't think they'll stray too far from guess who's committing terrorism again and guess who's getting kidnapped again. I want a new scenario. Like last time we had like a wedding. That's never been seen before. Or maybe with Galaxy, they went to space. But this one, I want to see something brand new and different. A new wacky scenario, Bowser, whatever Bowser's new plan he thinks of kidnapping Peach or doing something with Peach. I don't know, something new, something super wacky, something that we will never see coming. I just can't wait to see. Just please don't make it so boring and basic like Super Mario 3D Land. Oh no, she got kidnapped, and how do we know that? A letter, literally a picture. That's the bare minimum.
I kind of agree that like I don't think that they're gonna stray too far away, nor do I think that they necessarily should. But I do think it'd be cool if like not even necessarily bringing a new antagonist to the series, because I mean Bowser's iconic and everything. But maybe having some sort of new motive for Bowser beyond simply just kidnapping Peach again, bringing new characters to the foray as like side characters. I think that would be pretty cool. But just in terms of storyline, obviously that isn't the most important thing to me with a 3D Mario game, because typically with 3D platformers, I'm more focused on like how fun the game is compared to like what's going on story wise, especially with something as silly as Mario.
Mario does not need like a Shakespearean tale, okay? It's a turtle.
That would be fire though. Can you imagine?
That would be hilarious.
Can you imagine if the next Mario game was like some like interstellar level of
something
like,
I do desire though. What people like about Super Mario Galaxy is the first one more specifically is that it had a more cinematic flair to everything. Everything felt so grand, huge, important, and especially in the cutscenes. Like at the beginning cutscene, that it felt more dramatic than what we usually get. It
Bowser felt like a real threat. Yeah, Bowser. In that opening crawl where the airship attacks.
Yeah, lightning literally came out of his fingertips, something he never uses again.
Yeah, and then with the second Super Mario Galaxy game, everything just went right back to just like goofiness, which I don't want to like sit here and act like Galaxy 2 is not an amazing game. But also the other reason I bring that up is a question I see thrown around sometimes, which is, will Nintendo complete the Galaxy trilogy and make a third Galaxy game?
No.
I don't think they will, but
I
just,
it'd be cool, but me personally, let's move on from Galaxy. Give us something new.
Right. Okay, well, another sequel question is, would they or should they do a sequel to Odyssey?
I I also don't want a sequel to Odyssey. I wanted a sequel to Odyssey. Yes, wanted is the key word. Maybe like 5
Like on
years
the
ago.
original Switch.
Yeah.
Dude, has it been that long since Odyssey came
Is,
out?
It is
Oh
going
my.
to be 8 years. Right now it's 7.
I went from boy to man in the time that Odyssey's
Same.
been out.
I
It's
was
crazy.
watching my friend's little brother playing through Odyssey. He's like speed running through that game. I'm just telling my friend, like, damn, I remember when I was a kid speed running this game. Like he's
Yeah,
reminding me of all these secrets that I completely forgot about. It's been that long. If they wanted to do Mario Odyssey 2, they would have done it already. And I'm sorry to the Mario Odyssey 2 fans. I don't think it's happening, and I think it's better that we don't let it happen.
In the meantime, I think if you really want more Odyssey, there's mods that you can play for. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Nintendo's probably gonna kill me.
Hold on.
Yeah,
The ninjas.
how dare I mention
The ninjas have
how dare
already
I
fought me
mention that
before.
modding is a thing. All right, I'll retract that statement, or actually I won't. But anyway, one thing that I do want to kind of be a takeaway from Odyssey is maybe a decreased amount of filler objectives throughout the game. And as much as I love Odyssey, one complaint that I often see thrown around about it is just how many moons there are that are just way too easy and like effortless to get.
There's also
That's a philosophy
so
that I don't want
many.
to see.
There's a lot of
like
filler
1,000.
moons, and
There's way too many.
there's like 1,000 moons. I will be so honest with you. Mario Odyssey is my third favorite game of all time. I never got all the moons. I've gotten like 900.
Oh no, I haven't either. I don't have time for that.
I was almost there. I gave up though. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like,
And yeah, most of the 3D Mario games I would say are like pretty annoying and bad to 100%.
let's not
And
bring
somehow-
back the blue coins from Sunshine.
Okay, well, that's a whole separate issue. I mean, yeah, I feel like Nintendo's learned their lesson for that, or hopefully they have. But anyway, like, yeah, I think making it so whatever, I don't want to say moon because they probably won't call them moons for the next game, but every objective that we get, I'll just say star because most 3D Mario games are stars. Every star that you get, I want to feel more fulfilling because in Odyssey,
Yes.
let's just say I just landed the Odyssey at like, I don't know, the Sand Kingdom. I can literally run over to a hill and do a ground pound, get a moon right
Yeah,
there.
I was about to say, like, I could just stomp my ass into the ground. Boom, moon. Already, like, a fifth of the way to my objective.
Like, I would say like maybe 10 or 15% of the moons in Odyssey are like actually memorable to get. So I would rather them go with a more quality over quantity approach with the actual missions that we're doing. And on that note, one thing that I've seen also a lot of people talk about is will Nintendo keep going down like the Bowser's Fury route and create a fully open world?
I was going to get there.
Which I think would be awesome. I think that would be so cool if it was almost like Breath of the Wild where you just have this like landscape where you're able to go to any area and I don't know how they would make the environments naturally blend into each other since you're not actually just, like kind of teleporting from section to section. Just having a large map that you're able to peruse around, do it at your own pace, whichever levels you want to do. I think that'd be so cool. I don't really know exactly how it would work though, but
Bowser's Fury is definitely a blueprint for something.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe something new. It could be just nothing. Like, who knows? But I feel like it's an experiment. Just they bundled it with 3D World and they just threw in, a short little game that has a lot of potential. Now, I don't want it to go the Sonic Frontiers route where it's quote unquote open zone gameplay, where really it's just an Unreal Engine 4 world with a bunch of Sonic assets plopped in. I want this to be very fresh, creative, very thoughtfully created world where you can hop around, do more platforming, get to your objective, whatever the objective is. I just want it to be fun and very thoughtfully and precisely created. Not like it's not like Sonic Frontiers where it's just here's a little desert level that we found on the assets of Unreal Engine 4, and here's some rails that you can rail grind on, and yeah, boom. Here's your game, $60 or maybe $70.
Right.
Well, hopefully not.
And the biggest thing that I'm worried about with an open world Mario game, not that I don't think it can work, I definitely think it can, but I'm a bit worried that the world feels too massive to where running around it almost feels boring. Like if there's not enough to do to fill in the gaps of space. The reason why something like an open world works with a Zelda game is just the mindset of an adventure game versus platformer. I haven't really played a platforming game personally that does that kind of thing. So like I said, not that I don't think Nintendo can pull it off, but I definitely think it'd be an ambitious idea that I would love to see them attempt, because I really do value Nintendo's like willingness to like break new grounds with their games.
Oh yeah. Speaking of breaking new grounds, the past 3D Mario games, we've had sandbox style with 64 and Sunshine. We've had more, I'd say, linear based structure with Galaxy, and I guess ultra linear with 3D World. And then we went back to sandbox with Odyssey. Do you think they'll go back to sandbox again, or maybe a more linear structure, or do you think they'll make a completely new type of platforming genre, like as we're talking about, like open world platforming?
It's hard to say what I think that they will do, but I can say what my number one ideal situation would be. I don't know if I would rather them like go all in on the open world like sandbox thing where you're able to do whatever you want whenever you want.
If it's just
or if they're
Mario Breath of the Wild, I think it needs more polishing than just open world.
Right. I guess I would rather them do that though, just because I think that it'd be such a unique experience. And like if I want a linear 3D Mario game, I would just go play Galaxy. So I feel like there's not an itch that I'm missing with like that linear game versus like an open world sandbox game. Every single 3D Mario game that's in that realm, I have some sort of issue with. I love them all. I love 64 to death. However, I'm not about to sit here and act like it's a flawless game.
I have some beef with TikTok Clock. Let's not.
That's not even the only level that I have beef with in that game. But Sunshine, I have a whole other set of issues with that game. And then Odyssey,
what do you mean you don't like the
pachinko
machine?
Anyway, Odyssey, I really enjoy Odyssey. It's like you said, it's one of my favorite games of all time, but I still do have some issues with the difficulty of it. I think it's a little bit too easy. I think that there's too many filler moons in it. So with that being said, I think that the idea of a 3D Mario game that like kind of fills in all those gaps and feels like the most well-rounded experience is just so exciting that I would love to see Nintendo try it out.
That would be amazing. But sometimes, multi-trick pony, but master of none. Sometimes doesn't work out all the time. But I do believe Nintendo could pull it off. Like a very open-ended Mario game could be a dream. That could be amazing. But if they do go back to like something like a more linear structure like Galaxy, I mean, very recent game, Astro Bot released. I love Astro Bot. Astro Bot is our Galaxy 3. It's Galaxy 3.
It is, and I played Astro Bot for the first time 2 months ago, maybe, and there are so many things that game does that I would love to see implemented with the next 3D Mario game.
There's still a lot of potential in linear based in a linear based platformer. Well, not like ultra linear like a 2D Mario game, but like a 3D open ended, but still there's a goal at the end. 3D Mario game. There's still a lot of potential in those types of platformers, and Astro Bot absolutely proves it. I beat the game 100% of it. It is phenomenal, and I just can't wait to see what Nintendo can contest with what Team Asobi did over at PlayStation. I mean, they won Game of the Year. They even mentioned Nintendo. Well, not by name, but we all know who they're talking about.
Yeah. So here's what I will say about Astro Bot, because I was planning on bringing that up, but since you brought it up, I'll just go and talk about it. There are some mechanics of I don't want to say power, like, you know how in Astro Bot you can kind of like each level has its own unique power, quote unquote power up that you can use. One specific one that I think was so cool is the one where you become super tiny, and then there's different parts of the level that you can only access. It's almost like you turn into Ant-Man or something.
Yeah.
I think
incredible.
No, that's what I want. With the next 3D Mario game, I want to be able to turn tiny and like explore new parts of the level. That'd make me so happy.
That'd be please,
awesome.
Nintendo. I know there's one where Astrobot turns into a balloon. I'm like, that's just Yoshi from Galaxy 2.
Oh, dude.
But like,
it's
not like blatant copying.
Astrobot. This is so great.
I'm not saying it's just a blatant ripoff. I'm saying it's taking inspiration from past games and utilizing it to its advantage and making something new out of it and making something fresh, dynamic, and fun. That's what Astro Bot excels at, and I cannot wait to see what Nintendo does with Mario.
Oh man. Okay. Let's go ahead and get back on track, because like this could turn into an Astro Bot like geek session. If you don't, or if you have not played Astro Bot, I was about to say definitely get it, but then that would involve spending $500 on a PS5, which I know isn't practical for a lot of people. So I won't say that, but it's definitely worth giving a chance if you've never played it. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about like specific level themes or like worlds, quote unquote, that you would like to see with the next game, or just like environments to play in.
I know we're gonna get a grass level. It's gonna be the first one, but like,
it's mix it up. You never know.
I know, but
it's
like
Odyssey had the Cap Kingdom.
Okay, but the Cap Kingdoms lasted like 5 minutes, and then you go to Cascade, which is grass.
But at least that had dinosaurs.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Hey, Mario Wonder also had grass. And I'm like, all right, it looks different, but it's still grass at the end of the day.
It really didn't look different. Mario. Oh no, you're talking about. I thought you said Mario.
Yeah,
Run.
Wonder.
Never mind. Okay, I thought you said Run. Anyway,
I we want to talk about Mario Run.
No, that'll be a different discussion video. I think that along the whole like, you know, open world idea, if they were to do that, there's no doubt that the first section would be grass. Like it would just make sense.
Like, it would just make sense if we started, I don't know, a cave?
Well, a cave would be difficult to design within like a sandbox open world thing where all the worlds are interconnected.
You're right.
But it would be cool. It would be cool. But I don't mind starting out in a grassland as long as they make it unique in some way.
Oh yeah, I don't mind. It's just like, you know, it's funny that every time I start a new Mario game, it's like, oh, there's the grass world. Oh, there's the lava world. Oh, there's the sky world.
No, but like, I mean, yeah, but it's almost like par for the course though. It's like it's a Mario game. Like I'm hearing the grassland. I hear the happy-go-lucky music.
If they mix it up well enough, like, I don't know, add a dinosaur like Mario Odyssey, or talking flowers like in Wonder, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I don't want to say that they can't do a grass world, but I think if they do a grass world and they mix it up, I would be so happy. Just do something.
Yeah.
Don't do the new Super Mario Bros. Formula where it's just like the same thing every time, which I don't think that they'll do.
It's funny because when I was playing Wonder, I was like predicting, all right, so I'm gonna get the grass world first, and then we're gonna get the desert world next. Oh wait, the desert world is the 5th world. Oh, that's interesting. All right, the lava world's gonna be the last world. Oh, what do you know? It is. It's like bingo for me.
So are there any new world themes that you want to see that we haven't seen in a 3D Mario game?
I was about to say snow. Yeah, there was always snow.
Oh wow, I have not seen that one. Wow.
I'm looking at my bamboo plant right now. What if we? Oh, that's like grass.
Here's what I want to see.
That's
and
like
this
forest theme.
So you know the ruined kingdom from Odyssey, right? I want to see a full level
like medieval.
Medieval, but like also kind of creepy at the same time. Like that could be the haunted world.
Yeah, You're onto
Because
something.
probably my biggest gripe with Odyssey is that the Ruined Kingdom had so much untapped potential.
The Ruined
'Cause I
Kingdom
think
was
that
just a boss arena.
Yeah, it was just like the Dark Souls arena, but like it was so cool. Like the thought of exploring these like kind of eerie, like foggy medieval towers. I think that'd be so sick. And there's also dare I say, some lore that could be developed with like the Mario canon,
lore.
like like you know, like where did these
I can't
these
wait for the
towers
dragon
come
to
from,
appear in the next Mario Tennis game. Where is he?
Mario Tennis.
It's gonna happen.
Which that's our next discussion needs to be on the next Mario baseball game, because I need another Mario. Anyway,
Maybe they could do like a. Yeah, have you ever played a Kirby Planet Robobot?
Briefly, I haven't finished the game.
It has it has a very techno style, very mechanical. I'd say if they do something like a world based on like technology or mechanisms, that could, like a steampunk world. That could be really
kind of like have you ever played Kirby's Return to Dreamland?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Kind of like World 6.
Yeah.
The one where I forgot what the world's called.
They're in
egg engines. Engines.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
The first
I just
world
remember
of the volcano planet. Yeah.
I think something kind of like that vibe would be cool.
Untapped potential.
So
they kind of did that with the Steam Gardens world in Mario Odyssey, or whatever it's called. They kind of tapped into that mechanical world. Not really. But
that kind of applied it into the context of a forest, like, you know.
You're right. It's more forest.
But I guess whenever you originally said that idea, I was thinking of something not like a city, but you know, very like kind of like Neo Bowser City from Mario Kart, like that kind of vibe.
Bringing Mario Kart courses into like an actual fleshed out world in a 3D Mario game, like Neo Bowser City.
Honestly, there's so many Mario Kart tracks that I would love to see realized on the 3D Mario levels.
For a 3D world, they had like a Bowser theme park land kind of. So we already got that down, but a Neo Bowser City, they haven't done that yet.
What if we had a level like Electrodrome where it's like a rave?
Ooh, yeah.
Like you walk in, like, so imagine we're in this open world sandbox and you're in the city world and you walk into this building and then all of a sudden this like loud EDM music starts playing and you have a mission where like I don't know what the mission would be.
A Dance Revolution like Easter egg is thrown in there.
Right. Oh, that'd be so cool. Oh, you have like you have a DDR like mini game.
Yeah.
Oh.
So much potential with just think of anything. I would just want them to think outside the box. Get out of desert worlds or lava worlds. Give us something new.
Another vibe I think would be really cool. Sorry, now you got me on the Mario Kart track train of thought. But there's so many Mario Kart tracks that have environments that I think could work. Imagine like Wario's Gold Mine as a 3D Mario level. Like you're in these rustic like mines.
This isn't very unique. This isn't very unique, but can we get like a casino level or casino world?
Okay, let's talk about this, because Super Mario Sunshine had like maybe my least favorite section of the level in video game history.
You're so right. Okay, well, I'm not sure Flood will be returning for this one.
No, it's not even about Flood. I think if they did a casino level, they would definitely do the type of thing where it's like you have to line up these slots in order to move on, or it's like something very RNG based. And I hate it anytime. Like in Sunshine, or just like anytime there's some kind of RNG thing that must be done in order to progress through the game, because then it kind of takes it out of the player's control. And in Super Mario Sunshine's case, it was even worse because of Flood, like you said. But
I will press the trigger with just the slightest tap. The tiles go flying. I hate that. I hate that level. It's terrible.
You really could, like, we could have a whole video ranting about the casino level. But.
Hey, if we go back to Astro Bot, there was a casino world, and on the topic of RNG, like gambling theme, one of the power-ups in Astro Bot is it involves slow motion. There's a slot machine. You can just put that in slow-mo and, get all 3 in a row.
I still don't know how fun that would be, but I mean, yeah, but I do know what you're talking about because like you said, that one level in Astro Bot, or I think it was multiple levels that had the slow mo power up. But I think that just different power ups like that would be so cool in a Mario setting. Just
Hey, in New Super Mario Brothers, Luigi was teaching many kids how to gamble. I want to see the return to that.
so yeah. Anyway, were there any other world themes that you had kind of jotted down and you wanted to see?
Not in mind at the moment.
Maybe another like candy world. I mean, we had Luncheon Kingdom and Odyssey, but I'm a sucker for good candy levels.
If they went all in on the sweets, maybe there's potential in that. But I think the Luncheon Kingdom kind of already covered that.
So what about power ups? What do you want to see from
Power
power
ups.
ups?
Well, power ups can be that could be anything. I mean, last game we had a fucking elephant.
I thought you were talking about Odyssey. I was like, what
Elephant? No, we had
a
a T-Rex in that one.
In terms of power ups, do you want to see like the more traditional Mario power ups brought over? Since I mean, they have dabbled with like the traditional Mario power ups in 3D, but not like to the extent that the 2D games implement them. So, would you want to see that type of thing return?
It's not a guarantee.
Fire flower, ice flower.
It's not a guarantee. I'm basing this off of Bowser's Fury. They did have normal power-ups in that, and there was like an inventory slot where you can have multiple power-ups in that. But obviously they won't base everything off that game. But I won't be surprised if I see the return of regular power-ups, just away from power-ups. Kind of like how they did with Cappy, where it wasn't exactly power-ups, it was mainly just transformations.
Jokes aside, the idea of being able, like at any point in the game, being able to turn small and discover new parts of levels, I think there's so much potential.
It adds a whole new dynamic.
Right, that is the power-up. I think that would make every level so much more replayable because there's so much to discover of just like turning small.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Another...
Wait a minute. You forget about the mini mushroom?
Okay, fuck the mini mushroom. Like, this is so much cooler.
I just remembered that.
What is this gonna be, like a new Super Mario Bros. DS where I get to turn small and go to a new world? Like, no, I want to be able to turn extra tiny, go into a hole like that you couldn't see in the grass.
I want to become an atom.
And like, I don't know. Yeah, I want to become subatomic.
Let's go to the quantum realm.
That'd be so cool.
Speaking of Ant-Man.
Right. Yeah, I think like just having something like that where you have an ability that you can use at any time and the game is designed around that mechanic would be really cool, because that would also mean the developers have to like kind of design the levels with that in mind, which boosts their creativity because they have to think outside of the box for how to make everything work. We saw that with Super Mario Sunshine, which, yeah, that game had its questionable moments with the level design. Every level in that game was extremely memorable because of the fact that they had to make everything fit into a, tropical like beach aesthetic. So that kind of like philosophy of game design could work with whether it be making Mario shrink down to being subatomic or giving you the ability to slow down time, like you mentioned with Astro Bot. Think something like Super Paper Mario, how you're able to go from 2D to like kind of like being in between dimensions. I'm not saying to do that specifically with the new game because I have no idea how that would work, but
I can't wait for the squeezing into a crack cutscene for the next Mario game. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, but we just need like a 3D like Paper Mario crossover. That'd be something else. But yeah, I just think that would be cool. I think making the developers like kind of focus on like one central idea for the levels would be awesome. And like you said, I don't really care too much about like having the 2D Mario power-ups in a 3D space, because more often than not, I feel like they don't really add much to the level design. And it doesn't even have to be like power-ups. It could be like Odyssey, how Odyssey had captures, Sunshine had the different nozzles for Flood. There's different ways of like getting across the same idea of like an enhancement to the controlling process of, using Mario.
If we talk about the topic of controllers, Mario has always been ingrained with the next generation of controllers. 64 with the analog stick, I guess Sunshine with Flood and the triggers maybe, Galaxy with motion controls and the spin attack. Uh, I don't know for the Wii U. You could place blocks in New Super Mario Brothers or freeze enemies in 3D World. Oh, whoopee! I guess with the Switch, I do remember this. I do remember the one of the like I think it was Nintendo developer interview where, of course, they were gonna add motion controls to the Joy Cons, but they made it an extra clear point to add motion because the Mario Odyssey devs wanted you to use motion in that game, so they have it in the Joy-Cons. Like the motion controls in Mario Odyssey can be attributed to the Joy-Con. Not really.
You're gonna be able to use the Joy-Cons like a mouse.
Yeah, I was getting there.
The mouse Joy-Cons are gonna be in the new 3D Mario game.
The Joy-Cons, the rumors heavily speculate, and we've seen proof that there is a mouse sensor on the new Joy-Cons, which could allude to mouse controls,
which is unbelievable.
Maybe it was the Mario devs again. They're back at it. They want to force a new playstyle into our controllers. Like, I want you to pull Mario's mustache like a mouse.
What is this, WarioWare? Like, that's like a WarioWare minigame. We don't need that in the next 3D Mario game. Like,
you know how like 64 starts with the Mario floating head?
Yes.
You could stretch him.
Look,
this is the next generation of that.
Here's my take on the whole using the Joy-Cons as a mouse thing. I think that there's a lot of interesting ways that could be, implemented into games. I don't know if I want that in the next 3D Mario game. Like that, I could see that becoming gimmicky.
It also have to be more of an optional thing, because if you're playing with a Pro Controller, how are you going to use a mouse? So I'd say it might be a more optional thing unless they force you to switch controllers, which that'll be a little annoying. Like Super Mario Party Jamboree, that's a little annoying when you have to switch to a Joy-Con specifically. I don't know how they would use mouse for a 3D Mario game.
I mean, forget like how would they use mouse, but like one of the core aspects of the Switch is the ability to play any game like anywhere or anyhow you want, and forcing the player to kind of like have to be positioning their hand on a solid surface to use the mouse would make it so you're like, there's a lot of situations where you're not able to play the game. How would you control it while you're playing in portable mode?
They could replace it in when you're in handheld mode. They could replace it with the touchscreen.
I think if anything, the biggest thing that they're going to use the mouse function for is like typing things in. Maybe like whenever you're typing a game name in the eShop, or like hopefully we get an internet browser with the next console. I don't know why we don't have one right now, but anyway, hopefully whenever we get the Google on the next console, you'll be able to just use the mouse.
I really think the Mario devs they're gonna find out some way to use mouse controls. They will find a way.
No, please don't manifest.
They will find a way. If they found a reason to use the gamepad, they will find a way to use a mouse.
Oh, please no.
Use a mouse to generate blocks in the air, just like the Wii U, just like the good old days.
Okay, but actually, this is another little thing. Is would you want to see multiplayer?
Yeah. I was gonna get there. I do want multiplayer, like 4-player multiplayer in this. It's very unlikely, but it'd be so awesome. I played 3D World co-op 4 people. That's how I 100% of the game. It is so fun doing that. I don't think they'll do it. I think they'll have to do a lot of tweaking to the courses if they want to work with a single player or 4-player co-op.
Well, 3D World is a linear game, so it makes more sense for the multiplayer to be incorporated somewhat well into the level design. And I think that the whole system of the camera kind of being focused on one person, it works in that context. It doesn't work, perfectly, but it functions in that process because it's linear. So I think, let's just say we're correct and they're going to take it in a more open world direction. I think that the only way to really make multiplayer work is if it's like either online multiplayer or if it's like split screen.
If they do co-op, Mario Odyssey has co-op, but let's not talk about the little brother mode where you give your little brother Cappy and they just, we spin around. Oh, you could freeze enemies. Oh, yay. Let's not do that. Give us true 2-player co-op.
Or my favorite, which is Galaxy, where the second player just like
Oh
points at the
yeah,
screen.
you are a reticle. If you're doing co-op, I want true co-op, so I can play with my brother or my friends, whoever I have over. We hop in the latest 3D Mario game, split screen co-op, just plow through the adventure. That would be so cool. I don't want to be Cappy. I don't want to be a Luma. I want to be Luigi, damn it.
I need to put that on a shirt, that quote. I think it would be really cool though. Let's just say the new game is linear. Imagine if like for each mission, you're able to like do a race with another player online.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Mario Wonder,
That'd be cool.
Mario Wonder does have that, but Mario Wonder has like the Dark Souls approach where multiplayer is online is where everyone's like a shadow or a ghost. I mean, it's unobtrusive, which is helpful.
I don't mind the game being, or not the game. I don't mind like the multiplayer experience being obtrusive. Maybe a little bit like scuffed in the new Super Mario Bros. Games. But like, I personally think it's hilarious whenever you're like throwing your friends
amazing.
off. Like, I think it's so cool. I know a lot of people, and rightfully so, they're like, oh, it's annoying because you like accidentally,
and also you can
off
cheese a lot of the course design.
Yeah, that too, and that's I get that. I don't disagree, but I do think that making it so you can interact with each other makes it just more fun in general. But once again, we're talking about a 3D Mario game, not a 2D one. If multiplayer is not in the game, I'm not gonna like crash out over it. But I do think that it'd be pretty cool to in some fashion be able to play with other people.
You know what I hope they do add? Maybe like side modes, and more specifically, there is a mode in New Super Mario Brothers called Mario versus Luigi, and today there's a mod of Mario versus Luigi that you could play it on your PC, and it's like you can have 8 players just running around. If they have another version of Mario versus Luigi or like something like just as a side mode in this 3D Mario game, that would be so fun.
They did something kind of like that with Super Mario 64 DS. There was a little mini mode where you can play on like over download play. I think I'm gonna be honest, like back in the day I didn't have a lot of friends that I played Super Mario 64 DS with, so
I never had the game.
I mean, in my opinion, you weren't really missing out on much, but that's a discussion for a whole other day. I have heard
that multiplayer aspect of 64 where you're fighting for the stars. I have heard that it's significantly weaker than 2D Mario versus Luigi.
Oh, it's definitely weaker, but
that's 20 years old at this point. They could have thought of something better now, right?
So what about like collectibles? Like, do you want to see costumes return from Odyssey?
Costumes, please.
I think that like giving coins more of a purpose, like once again, like they did in Odyssey, where like maybe there's a shop where you can buy costumes, or imagine if there's emotes.
I don't really know why.
That'd be so. I don't really know why.
I think emotes would only work if online play is at work.
But it'd be so fun. Like even if they're just in the game like for shits and giggles and for no actual reason, just the thought of like being able to like jump on a Goomba and then just like do an emote.
I can't wait for Mario to floss. Sonic already did it. I can't wait for Mario to do it.
Oh my! Are you talking about the movie?
Yeah.
Oh my. Anyway.
I think he's done it in all 3 movies. Maybe 2.
And then we could have like there'd be like a Mario Fortnite collab, or like you could. I don't know. I think emotes would be pretty cool. I think that'd be a funny little add-in. Costumes. I love the idea of being able to make Mario look, like be able to unlock like a whole variety of different costumes and.
Are they bringing back Mario nipples? I remember that being a whole thing when Mario Odyssey came out.
Yeah, it's literally a speedrunning category. It's a nipple percent. I remember back in the day. I used to watch Smallland do a run of that.
You know what? I'm all for nipples returning.
That'd be fire. Maybe you just have to slap that rated E10 plus rating on it, but I think Mario can be for the adults too. You know what
Mario's
I mean?
for big boys. I don't know what you're talking about.
We can get a little bit more risque. With
I don't get stuffed in a locker.
I don't get bullied. I do the bullying.
Exactly. You like The Last of Us? What a bitch. Bitch you are. Play a real man's game like Animal Crossing. Gaming these days.
What the fuck?
You know what I don't want to see? I don't want to see any more 8-bit references. I'm sick and tired of NES Mario. Give us like Super Nintendo Mario. Or like Mario 64. Give us like those references. I'm tired of seeing 8-bit Mario and like Donkey Kong or 8-bit Luigi just in the levels. Or like Mario Odyssey had a whole thing with 2D sections and just 8-bit.
I mean, do we really need like retro Mario references with a new game anyway? Like,
no, but they're probably gonna add it.
Well, they probably will because it's fan service and everything. Oh, that voice crack was bad. They'll probably do it because it's fan service and everything. But
if they're gonna do fan service, get into the 90s. Come on.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like it should be 3 decades behind wherever we are right now. Yeah. It should be the fan service period. The number one thing that I will say, since we're kind of getting towards the end of the video, the biggest thing I want to see is make the game less easy.
Oh yeah.
Which this kind of is more of a comment on modern like Nintendo design philosophy with a lot of their games. Specifically Mario games, but they're just not that hard.
Hey, Darker Side of the Moon is pretty hard, but everything before that, that's
one mission though. That's not like Odyssey. Odyssey has a few hard levels in it. Same thing like how 3D World has Champions Road.
Yeah.
Galaxy 2 has the perfect run. But I'm talking about like make the majority of the game feel less like brainless to play through, especially on repeat playthroughs, because like Odyssey now, most of the game is like pretty just, I don't want to say like playing on autopilot almost, but it's like there's not really much of a challenge to it.
There's games like Kirby Star Allies, just pure autopilot, like just move forward, press button, win. And then there's games like Dark Souls or Elden Ring where you just want to beat your controller and throw it into oncoming traffic.
You got FromSoft games for masochists out there. Like if you're looking for that kind of experience, you can play Elden Ring or like Dark Souls. There's plenty of games like that. But that's not necessarily the point I'm trying to make. I'm not wanting some Elden Ring level like difficulty Mario game. I just want something that I think that the closest we've gotten from a 3D Mario game to the difficulty I'm looking for is 64.
Not Sunshine?
Well, Sunshine at times is a little bit too
I'd say Sunshine's pretty hard.
No, Sunshine's harder. Sunshine's harder. Yeah. But I think Sunshine's a little bit, it's not even hard for the right reasons. Sunshine's more hard because the controls suck ass. So that's a whole other thing. But 64, yeah, the controls weren't perfect, but they feel less egregious in Sunshine. Pretty much every level in that game has some level of difficulty to it where you really have to kind of think while you play. I don't know how to
I just want my neurons to fire when I'm playing this game.
Right. And if other people like find the difficulty of Odyssey fine, like that's great. Like maybe like I'm just looking for a different level of like difficulty to the game, and it could be a natural progression. Like of course, because it's gonna start out with the grass world. The first level, like the grass level, could be easy, like that's fine. But I want it to kind of naturally pick up, and I think that would not only make your first playthrough more interesting, but it would make coming back to the game more fun as well. Because the main reason I come back to Odyssey, to be honest, is because the controls are so perfect that the game just feels great to play. Which at the end of the day, that's like the number one thing, I guess, is make the game fun.
Cappy is going to be missing. Cappy was amazing in Odyssey.
Cappy was great. And we're going to miss the Tiara like little side plot. But yeah, just make the game fun to play. And Everything else I can probably get over. If the game is easy, that's fine. It's not like I'm gonna hate the game, but that's just a little, a little big thing for me that I think would be awesome to have the game be a little bit more difficult.
There's one thing I do want to say. Since it's 2025, and a lot of Nintendo developers, they've been with the company since 1970. I think this generation, this might be the last 3D Mario game with the old guard. This might be the last one with Miyamoto or Takashi Tezuka or Yoshiaki Koizumi. This might be the last game with their involvement, because I think they're over retirement age at this point.
They definitely are.
This might be their very last.
The fact that they're still going strong today is, mind-boggling at their age. So, yeah, I definitely agree that, we never know when they'll stop, but there's a good chance that this is at least the last game that they have, like, a kind of director role in.
If this is their last game, I just want them to go out with a bang. Like, all their ideas that they haven't done for the past 40 years, get them out now and polish it and refine it. Do the best. If this is your last, go out with a bang.
But yeah, I think that's because this video was already longer than I was expecting it to be. We really yapped for a long time there. Definitely, thank you so much to everyone who did watch through the video. This was actually a lot of fun to do. We've been discussing a little bit about potentially doing some kind of like series, like discussion series, almost like a podcast where we talk about like, Nintendo or gaming news in general. So if that's something that you would want to see from us going forward, or potentially with other people as well, feel free to let us know, or of course any way that we can improve it, because this is our first time doing this kind of thing, so we're still figuring it out. So Donovan, tell the people where they can find you at
I'm DonovanDud, exactly how it sounds, on YouTube. All my other links, there's Discord, the Discord server, the Nintendo Boys, where all my stuff can be found, and where I generally engage with the audience and even collaborate with outside people like Mr. Dean here. Other than that, that's about it. Well, there is the Twitter app, but we don't talk about that. And I guess Instagram too. The DonovanDud. That's me.
All right, so yeah, thank you so much, Donovan, for coming on the channel.
Thank you for having me.
This was a ton of fun, of course. Thank you again to everyone who watched through, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Peace out.